Hello there, everyone. We're doing a later stream today, as you see. We're going to try out doing it a little bit later in the day and see if we can get a few more people dropping in so we can spread the love. And hello. You beat me to the chat. Let's see, just got to make sure it's all set up here. Couldn't remember if I turned this off. Excellent. Hello there. You actually get to hear me a little bit more awake for once. Alright, so I'm going to change some of this up out here. We're just going to do a little bit of work in this area. And then we have a few other things we're going to do, but also there's a group of models I'll be using for caves that I've been preparing, so I'm going to bring those in and finish them up while we're on the stream. I don't know if we're going to use them today to make caves because it might take a little time to fix them up, but we'll see. Oh, QA stuff. Excellent. Hopefully you enjoy it. Yeah, it's 1:30 for me, and sorry, I was just gathering my bearings here for a moment. It's 1:30 for me, so I got to sleep in a little bit. I mean, I didn't just wake up or anything, but you know. Let's see. We'll put this in rocks. So I've been having to get this ready for usage. I bought some photo scans of some tunnels, I believe in Russia, maybe? So I retopologized them because they were extremely heavy before. And just have to do some simple placeholder UVs for them so we can use them. Were you on the QA team before, or is this your first time doing it? I couldn't remember. The last stream we spent a little time making a waterfall in the redwoods. And then this one I don't really have a specific thing I'm focusing on. It's just going to be a couple of different things. One of them is getting this ready. I figured that maybe people would like to see the process of getting something like this ready to use, or at least part of it. You would have probably hated watching the rest. It took a long time. Well, definitely let me know what you think about the what you get to play. Might actually use a different material. So I've gotten one or two of these ready already. They have kind of placeholder UVs for now, so you'll see a little stretching here and there. But this is kind of an entrance piece for it. Basically, they're pieces of a tunnel that were photo scanned, and I just retopologized them because they were 18 million triangles originally. And I cut it into pieces so that we could put them together. So it looks from the outside like it's see-through, but on the inside, as you'll see here, you can actually go in the tunnels. Just serves as an easier way to make tunnels for these. But I need to see if I already have the textures for this, because I might. I do. Excellent. So in that case, we're going to make another material just for this. I think we'll use the rainforest. But yes, it was the redwoods last time. So we're just going to use this material as a general cave material. Down here. Oh, whoops, I don't need to change the moss color. That can stay. Cave wall. Definitely let me know. Of course, it won't be perfect or anything, but I think you'll enjoy it. So first thing, we need to fix up the not the UVs. We'll fix up the collisions on this. Gonna remove the ones that automatically generated. Probably need a pretty high number of them because you need to be able to walk through this. Might even have to custom make these, we'll see. That should be workable temporarily, but I think I'll custom make one later on because this could be better. I'm going to adjust these two. You just have to make sure you're able to walk through it without it being too much of a hassle. Bump that up a little bit. But I wanted something that would make it a little bit quicker to make caves, so I figured an actual photo scan of a cave would probably do it pretty well. So, the original quality was way too high for a game. Nice to look at, but not so good for using in the game, so I had to modify them pretty heavily. It is a cave, yes. We don't need this. Yeah, I bought a photo scan of a cave. That's what this is. Do it. Tell me how terrible, how trash the redwoods is. You know what, until I remove the parts covering the openings, it's not worth doing collisions on this. So, we just need to figure out what's going to look good for this. A couple of these don't have any UVs yet, so we're just going to put some temporary ones on them until I have a little more time to make it look nice. Yep. Oh yes, retopologized caves with that beautiful uniform topology. Still a high poly, but definitely not even close to how it was. So this one is already ready. Looks like it works out fine with the new material. We might need to make the material double-sided though. Might be letting in a little too much light. Let's see. I don't know if that'll help. That does help. I was hoping that would be the case. Yes, I definitely want it to look prehistoric across the whole map, but I think it'll take a little time to get it exactly where I want it. Oh yeah, same here. I get lost too. I'm going to make these caves and I will still get lost, I promise you. Like in the forest, I always get lost in the caves. And I've played that game so many times. That one is good to go. So when I retopologized these, I had to close off the entrances, like you see here, so I wouldn't have too many issues. Definitely gonna have to give these some kind of ambient light. But we're just gonna do some quick placeholder UVs so we don't spend a ton of time doing this. They should already be a pretty decent triangle count. I don't think I'm gonna have to modify them. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Oh, I will weld those edges. So now we have to cut off part of this one. And anything that's disconnected too. Usually there's a couple little stray triangles floating around, so don't want those. And we're going to take this out. Oh yeah, 100%. Big old turds are where it's at. You know, I may have created one myself right before the stream, you just never know. No, cooperate. Whatever, I'll fix that in a second. But I'm just going to kind of roughly cut this out and I'll smooth anything that's jagged. Yes, I agree. I've never been particularly amazing at caves, which is why I want to do a lot more of them. Because the only way I'm ever going to get it to where it looks the way I want is if I just keep trying. So I'm using the forest, Sons of the Forest is a kind of reference because I love their caves. They are complicated. Theirs at least. We have a horseshoe crab cave. It's opened up, and there's one more, I think. No? Is that it? That is it. Yeah, this is the end piece, I remember, from the original scan. So this scan originally had 455 16K EXR textures. It was pretty intense. I kind of want to put a little hole up there to let light through. That'd be cool. Might make a copy of it and do that. Should be good. Let's just close off any holes that are here. Some of them might not close, but that'll be a quick, easy fix. Yeah, a few of them. We'll make a newer, better hole. Just like that. It looks like it still has a little. Jesus, this is brutal right there. I think, yeah, 2 parts came together. So we'll just remove that. Ooh, yes, I absolutely should do that. Okay, that will work. So let's give it some temporary UVs. I'm actually surprised it was even able to do anything with this because this doesn't have UVs at all yet. We'll just do some terrible auto UVs. That will probably work. This might be enough triangles. I think this one was a little bit lower than the others. Let me see. I'm just trying to avoid any overdraw. Maybe a little bit higher. Still overdrawing a little bit. He's good. Okay, so we'll just bump up the triangle count a tiny bit on this one. Maybe 100,000 could do it. It's no longer uniform, which makes me sad, but good enough. I know, I feel the same. I would sleep in here, 100%. Didn't want to fill this one. Looks like I missed some. I did. How terrible. These two. The other one go. There it is. Sometimes when I retopologize these, it'll make some weird geometry in a few spots, so I just have to delete it and close it off. Right there. I'm going to redo the UVs real quick because that will have thrown it off. Make sure they're all closed. Yes. Yes, they are. That should be good. Oh yes. Please do. Proximity chat is like my favorite feature of any game. Especially if you play Phasmophobia. That game is hilarious with proximity chat. This will do it. This will work. And hopefully shouldn't be overdrawing anymore. Let's find out. Yes, better. Good enough for me. One more to fix, and then it'll be good to go. We might end up making a cave today, we'll see. If we do, I need to decide where it needs to go, but that'll help me get these to fit together if I go ahead and try them out pretty soon. It should fit pretty close because it's just one long cave that I cut into pieces. Actually, I need to bring those back out here because I think, yeah, that one I centered the pivot. That one I did. I think it's just these last two. I know, right? I mean, for all we know, I could have done the scan myself, and I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, we already have a few caves, and some of them have only been seen by me. I'm interested to see if you'll find any of the secrets nobody else has. And I aim to keep it that way. Let's bring this a little more down. This doesn't need to be perfect because we can just smooth it, but I also imagine I'm probably going to have to resculpt the entrances just a little bit. Just so I can get them to fit together without light leaks. Okay, this one's almost done. I do definitely want more caves though. And that is why I've been looking for something like this for a while, because sure, I could have just made my own meshes, but it's cool to have some that are based off a real place, to me. Okay, one more entrance right here. Yeah, pretty much. And I would have left it that way because originally this was a pretty big mesh, but I wanted it to be reusable and not just a one cave kind of deal. So I just cut it into pieces. However, I'll make it look like it's continuous. This is pretty much the main reason that I like using uniform topology for things. Makes it easier to do things like this, because it all flows together in a way that makes it easy to cut things the way I want them. And UVs. That's the biggest reason. It's almost done. Let's see. It's pretty big. Of course, I actually do need to test it against a character model, so we're about to find out. Because I can just bake the size to something different. I'll put a human in here in just a moment. Just getting rid of these because I know probably half or more won't close when I try to fill the holes. Let's see, I think that's all of them. Oh wait, no. It hid from me. You shall not escape me. That's hopefully most of them. So let's close those off, and we'll test a human in it. It should already be a pretty good size, but I was going to need to test that anyways because I need to scale it correctly. So one of them isn't closing. Let's find out which one. It's hidden somewhere. I just don't want any weird light leaks in the cave unless I want it to be there. Oh, that is floating. I wonder if that might be the issue. Let's find out. This will show me where the hole is, at least. Where is it? You know, I thought this would make it easy, but so far it's not. Oh wait, there it is. Haha! You cannot escape me. Excellent. Okay. So now just throw some temporary UVs on it and call it a day. You were right. Now let's just figure out the scale. Stick a Eocar and a human in it just to see how it looks with both of them. This should be quite a bit bigger right now. That put it way down on the ground. Oh yeah, this is way bigger. Might even need to bring it down, but we'll see yet. A lot of times I leave it bigger than we need so I can bring it down from there. There it is. So here it is with human and Eocar. So it's pretty big right now. We'll probably make it smaller for some caves and about this size for the bigger ones. So let's... You know what? Let's go ahead and use them. Let's make a cave. I was going to do something else first, but now I'm like, we spent all this time fixing them. May as well just use it. Okay, there we go. I couldn't remember if I recentered the pivot, but it looks like I did. I have put a dinosaur in the hole. You're in my hole, yes. You're right. I did it. I stop at nothing. Let's put this... There's another bigger one I'm planning, so I'm going to avoid that for now. You know what? Let's put it in the meadows, since I haven't put much here yet. I don't know the details on it since the programmers are setting that up, but I do know you'll be gathering materials for it since I've been putting those on the map recently. But I don't know much more than that. What I'm trying to decide is, should this be a cave on top of a mountain or going into one? I think I may have seen a spot I want to use, but just making sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. I haven't asked many questions about the crafting, so I'm not extremely familiar with what they're doing. You know what? We might even make this cave go into these cliffs I put out here the other day. Like right here. But I think the mesh blocks it a little bit. Yes, it does. So I could squeeze it in here. That would work. Yes, the map is massive. Yeah, let's just set up the collisions on these last two. I forgot about that. Exactly, the perfect hole area. You know, that collision is an issue. What if we just do this? Yeah, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna have to make my own collisions for this to make it work as well as I want. We will see. Yeah, that collision's pretty brutal. That is not gonna work. Guess we'll just have to use a bunch of collision holes right now and then make another one outside of this. That is just terrible, truly. Yeah, auto collision can be great sometimes and not so great other times. Do I really need to max this out? Ridiculous. I guess that'll work for now. It just makes it where you can't walk in that hole. And that is questionable. Let's just shrink it a little bit. Yeah, collisions are a pain. But in this case, I'm probably just going to make like a really low poly version of this model and use it as a collision. Because I feel like that would be less vertices in total than the one that was just generated. Because that was not ideal. Like, look at that rock just throwing off the entire collision right there. That's horrible. We'll go with that just for the moment. But I'm just going to make some low poly versions of these and turn them into collisions later because that is terrible. So I'm thinking under one of these cliffs. Maybe the spot I was just looking at, we'll see. Just trying to see how far out these stick out. Yeah, I think we'll do the end over here. More holes we must make. So, let's put it right here. I'll just make it bigger than we need at first, and then shrink it a bit after that. Don't really want floating foliage here either. Is that there? Seriously? Looks like some of these are ones I placed manually. Let's see. There we go. Excellent. Yep, that is what I do sometimes, unless it's a really simple collision. Like the trees, for example, I just have a cylinder going up the trunk. Simple collisions are performant collisions. But you know, I gotta say, I think collisions are a lot easier than animations. Look at that, 202,000 rocks. My map of the not so happy forest in Japan has like, I think about 2 million of each kind of rock. It's ridiculous. It's extremely dense. Well, hello there. It's going well. How are you? We'll almost certainly have to change this hole a little bit. Yeah, that's way too big. So let's just move it a little over here because it looks like it would fit better. And not hit that rock. So we'll close that back up. It's okay if we have some extra space on the sides. I'll just close that up with rocks or something, but just don't need a huge hole in the landscape. It does seem to get stuck at 69% pretty often. It's a prophecy. But we probably won't make this too monstrous of a cave, but it's something with a dead end inside. And yes, I actually wasn't sure if I was going to do that today, but then I was like, you know what? We spent all this time getting these models ready. May as well use them. Probably nothing too crazy, but I'm going to make this one go a little bit into the ground. I think I'm actually going to put it inside this a little bit and cover up the edges. I feel like that'll turn out better. Yeah, that'll work. Wonder if it might even be worth sculpting the landscape down around it, but I feel like that might be too difficult to be precise with. Yes, the redwoods are my baby, so you gotta be careful with that. You just never know what'll happen. Like John Wick and his puppy, it's me in the redwoods. I'm gonna get all of these out. I'm gonna see if I can make this look good. But I think we might do a little bit of landscape sculpting too, just to make it blend in there as naturally as possible. The entrances are always the hardest part, in my opinion. About like that. Oh yes, I will be the mama. I'll be waiting. Yeah, I don't really like how these are going to look. Okay, so first I think we'll sculpt the landscape down a little bit around it, and then we'll fill it in. Ah, yes. Understandable. I've not gotten to visit his basement yet, but one day. I will earn the rank of basement dweller. Went a little bit too far. Trying to get it pretty close without clipping through the mesh. I think that'll work. Let's just smooth that out a little bit since people are going to have to walk into this. We actually do have a cherry blossom in the game. It's in a temple area at the moment. Yeah, I just don't like having to hide stuff on the ceiling specifically. Especially since I already have to do so much hiding right at the entrance around the cave. And we'll actually have a channel soon because I talked to Islander about it. For people to leave requests for the map and suggestions. I think we'll use some ledges. Somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. Let's see how that works. I'll use some kind of staircase or ladder or something to get up onto this probably. We'll see. Yeah, I've got some that are terrain meshes. That would work perfectly. Yes. I I'm thinking I'll either use actual stairs like somebody already came there, or I'll make kind of a natural rock stair setup. I'll just sculpt the ground up out here around that. Over here, I'm thinking rocks. There we go. Just wanted to hide the open parts on the backside of the moss. Oh yes, there are going to be many, many more caves. In fact, there's a really big one that I started on recently. Nobody's seen it yet. I don't think I've used this on the map yet. We'll use some rocks right here. Some smaller ones. Something mossy. I mean, there are some actual stairs right here, but I feel like it wouldn't look right here. Nobody's seen them yet. I have quite a few secrets on the map, and I haven't heard of anybody finding them yet. We'll see, but I don't know. I keep my secrets pretty hidden. I saw this and just wanted to put it here, so that is why we stopped for a moment. It looks cool. I had to. Ah! Should I start a channel for this, or...? Yes. Crevices that have secrets. I approve. About to use every mossy rock I have. Not that one, though. It's not the vibe. I won't blame you for what you have to do. Bring them out, bring them out. Yeah, I want some good mossy boys here. That might help. I'll just take a few things out. It'll make it easier than just looking at these like, I don't know. Gotta bring out the palette of rocks. You like that? That is a prime rock right there. Let me tell you what. Oh, but it's open on the bottom. How terrible. In fact, I need to move these a little bit more because I didn't realize how sharp that edge was right there. It's a little ridiculous. It looks like I didn't even need this one. And I want to use this rock, but I'm really not sure it's going to fit anywhere the way I want it to. I need to turn this off local space. Oh my god, that Rats song. I'd forgotten about it until just now. I hope you're proud. Now, let's use one of these boys. You've never listened to it. How could you? We're gonna bring out my trusty favorite rocks. The boys themselves. Just have to retexture them. Because they do not have enough moss. There's a certain amount of moss we need. If we don't have it, who knows what will happen. It won't be good though, that I can tell you. Rats, rats. Oh yes, rock overhang indeed. Yes, now because of you, that song is going to be stuck in my head all day. Tonight, I'm going to be falling asleep, still singing it. I already know. Looks like I actually don't need this rock. That will work. But I can also remove the rock plates right there. Actually, no, they're more visible than I thought. I love these rocks though. You can put them anywhere. All you do is change the material to match the biome and bam. They fit everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. Oh, yes. Actually, I have a model of a rat from, there's one on Polyhaven. But it's not the special Esh rat. Which is obviously superior. Oh yeah, look at those rocks. Sandy boys. Oh yes, let's make a crabs version. Oh, you're right. Yeah, we're seeing the ocean under the map. I kind of just want to leave it this way, so you can choose to just walk into the ocean. Life's too hard. There you go. Ocean. So that, I actually didn't use it at all. Throw one more of these boys right here. 2 more, actually. That was a lie. Still just that tiny spot right there. Boom, just like that. I don't even think I'm going to keep these. I'll just move another one of these boys right down here. Yeah, it's a vibe. Just have to cover it up later with more cliffs. So let's instance these together. Rock plates, good stuff. Actually, I'm gonna add one more of these. Oh yeah, I still need stairs to go in here. Honestly, these could be the stairs. We'll just do that. There we go. Stairs. Oh yes, 100%. But remember, we're getting the crab loading screen, and that is pretty awesome. We can accomplish great things. Gonna instance these boys. One packed level actor to rule them all. This is the NVRTX branch of Unreal Engine 5.4. And I know it's a concern anytime somebody sees Unreal Engine because a lot of times developers will enable everything they can without fully optimizing the game for that purpose, but we are heavily optimizing the game. Go. Now we'll just bring the ground up out here to cover this up. Honestly, probably need to smooth it out right here anyways. It's not exactly how I want. Guess I'll sculpt it up first and then smooth it out. There we go. It's a little bit too sharp right there. Might need to bring it in a little bit. Oh yes, body cam does look pretty awesome. I mimicked it after they made it because I wanted to try something like that for a horror game. I probably won't ever release it, but yeah, I loved that as soon as I saw it. Most of it's done through post-processing, so it's really not that heavy either. Thank you. Once it's not leading underground into the ocean, it'll be better. I imagine it's not nearly as heavy as it looks. Since it's mostly done through post-processing and it's in a small, enclosed environment, it should be pretty light. In terms of your CPU, that's definitely plenty. Yeah, I have one without the underwater part of that. The bigger one that I haven't processed right now opens up into a really big area inside of it. Should be pretty cool when it's done. Let's take these out. Yeah, I figured it wasn't a very heavy game because it doesn't take much to replicate that. Let's use probably this one, if that's not the one that has a... Yes. So this will be the hard part, getting them to fit together in a modular way. Probably just have to mask the holes like I did with the entrance. I think that's what we'll do. Oh yeah, that would definitely be plenty for that game. I'm glad you like seeing it. When we started streaming, I really wasn't sure anybody would like to see it because it can be really slow and repetitive, but seems like people like watching it. I think I'm going to put a light in here because I feel like that's going to become an issue. Yeah, body cam shouldn't be heavy. Whoops. I remember the developer of Bodycam talked about how he made it look the way it does a while back, and the lumen settings are just the standard default ones, just with some post-processing and color grading to change how it looks. If you're just doing level design and not actually optimizing things necessarily, then you really don't need that much knowledge with computers just to place things on a map. It's when you start optimizing that kind of thing that it takes a bit more. But some teams have a dedicated person for that. Or team. Here I am with just my 2 monitors. I'm the plebeian here. I think we'll just cover this up with some rocks. Yes, I'm crazy about good color quality. I have a OLED monitor right now and I love it. Mainly because the dark scenes and things look just pitch black. It's beautiful. Now that is efficiency. The same rock, over and over. Oh yeah, OLED is definitely pretty expensive. But I'd wanted one for a long time because I don't really play that many games anymore, but when I do, a lot of times it's horror games and I want the really dark scenes. Yeah, that makes sense. think I'll put something else right there. Yeah, my last monitor was another ultrawide that was 2560 by 1080. And then I moved to 3440 by 1440. And that was a little bit jarring. On the text size, I mean. I think I'm going to use some actual rocks here, not just the little patch I made. Probably this one. Actually, I don't think that's going to be quite what I'm looking for. Perhaps we'll use that terrain mesh again. It's going to be huge in here, but I think it'll do what I want. And that is what matters. Yes. I love watching those videos. Let's see if I can use this over here again. We can. Excellent. And then we just need to put the last piece over here, if we can. We can. Excellent. This is what I was hoping for. Didn't think it'd be this easy. I don't understand it either, but I guess it's just a thrill for them. But I don't think I'd ever do that. I might think about it. And this is why we make packed level actors, and for performance, but you just drag and drop it and problem solved. Yeah, I like this. I usually am not a huge fan of the caves I've made, but this actually is pretty cool. Don't think I can get away with using the same wall patch I was using, so I'm just going to make something new. Guess I could be wrong. Let me see. Oh, sir, I do not believe this is going to cut it. It was almost a vibe. We'll see. Maybe if I turn it upside down. Works. Instances everywhere. As it should be. Let's see. Let me drop a character in here. This is definitely going to be on the bigger side for a cave. Yeah, pretty tall. Although I did want to leave a little space so I can put stalactites and stuff like that. I think we might actually have some already. Let me see. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. I'll use it. But it does need nanite. In fact, I need to make sure it's turned on these. I don't know why. Look at that. How did that happen? Yeah, it does look like molten rock. I'll probably put a material on it to match the rest of the cave, but... Ooh, yes. The crab boss. I'm definitely not going to be using the shrubs. I'll get rid of those later. So the problem with a lot of assets brought from Fab is that they may say they're made for nanite, but they're not actually well made for nanite. So we're just going to double check any that we use. I'm going to delete these. That one could be pretty cool. Similar to the other one. But I don't see stalactites. So that's what these could be. Architecture, perhaps? Nope. Let's use these. We're going to put a different material on them. Actually, that does not look good on that. I guess we'll keep this. So let's just double check them. We don't want open edges. Look at that. These are actually better than most. Oh no. I hate when it does this. Just randomly freezes up. I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's a huge world, but... The editor hates me. It'll come back one day. Wouldn't be surprised if my RAM use is through the roof. Not particularly. But at least we're here together. That's what matters. I've noticed it does this though every now and then, just right when I go to save, it'll just stop for like a few minutes. You know, I guess we'll just force close it, because I've already saved everything that mattered. The only thing I had to save was what I just did with them. And we'll just start back up, because I don't feel like waiting on that. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to want to work with me at the moment. But I don't take that for an answer, so we'll just wait. I fully approve. The final boss has always been the crab. Well, it's doing something. We can see that. There it goes. Let's go back where we were. And the only thing that shouldn't be saved is the pieces of cave that I dropped in there. Well, one of them is still here. That's something. We'll put a few of these here and there, and then we will call it a day. I actually want to tweak these materials a little bit. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, it looks like I already did. Okay. Smaller. I'll definitely have to come back and put some water droplets coming from here and there. I think it would look pretty good. Now we can drag and drop this in a few places. Same with the other ones I just put together. I think we'll probably add some ambient mist here too. But that's something I'll do later on. I'm actually setting up a better looking one than what I have right now. This one. Yeah, I actually downloaded some photo scans that I was about to say a museum put up of some stalactites, stuff like that. So I'm planning to use those once I finish setting them up. But I do like these. So I'll probably keep these here too. Because there'll be lots of caves, so plenty of places to use different things. I guess we'll put a little bit of dripping water in here before I stop. Because I do want that. I'm pretty sure I already have something for it. Yeah, we can slow it down. So I'm just thinking, for these rocks to form, it would drip from up here. bump up the lifetime a little bit so it drops lower. Yes, the game is focusing on realism. Sorry, I was pretty focused on the water drops. I feel like pretty good. I think I want to make the rock on the walls a little bit shinier, like it's wet. I'll probably do that in a moment. Oops. Didn't mean to go that far. Oh, yes I did. Oops. Pretty solid. I'm just glad you like watching. So I'll make these into a level instance right now, and then I'm probably going to add more of them. So I'll just break it later and add more. But before I stop, let's make the rock wall a little bit shinier. Oh yeah, I actually want to instance these together too. We actually will have an echo in here. The way I have our weather set up, I can do that in small spaces like this. It handles a lot of our sound occlusion and such. Actually, you know what? I do want this as an HLOD. Yeah, this is normally the time I stop the streams, but just wanted to make sure this looked how I had in mind first. So let's see if we can make this look a little bit better. Mainly I want to see how light will interact with it, because people will come in here with torches, that kind of thing. But that's almost what I'm looking for. There we go. But it causes noise. A little bit less then. That's better. I really appreciate it. So I guess we'll go ahead and stop here. Thank you all for dropping by. I should be doing the normal schedule next week, except that they'll be later in the day now. So I will be back on Tuesday, and I hope to see